Miranda Lambert has made a lasting mark on country music, not just with her powerhouse voice, but with her unapologetic authenticity. Known for speaking her mind, whether through her lyrics, on stage banter, or candid moments with fans, Miranda has built a career on being real. She doesn't shy away from tough subjects like heartbreak, betrayal, and resilience. But beneath the public image of a confident, fearless artist lies a journey marked by personal struggles, challenges, and setbacks that many fans don't know about. In this video, we're diving deep into the life of Miranda Lambert, from the highs of her career to the private battles she's faced, proving that her strength goes beyond the stage and is embedded in her story. Stick with us as we uncover the layers of the country music queen's incredible journey. Miranda Lambert's journey begins in the small town of Lindale, Texas, where she was raised by her parents, Rick and Bev Lambert. Her father, Rick, was once a Dallas police officer who later transitioned to a career as a guitarist and private investigator. Growing up, Miranda's home was filled with secrets and a unique sense of adventure. Her parents weren't your typical suburban family. They were deeply involved in a world of mystery and investigation. However, the stability they once enjoyed took a dramatic turn after the Texas oil crash, a devastating blow that led to severe financial hardships for the family. At a young age, Miranda witnessed her family's struggles firsthand. The steady income they once relied on vanished as the economy took a nosedive. Bills piled up, and the Lambert family was soon forced to reckon with the reality of losing everything they had worked for. This difficult period marked a significant turning point in Miranda's life, one that would shape her perspective and fuel the raw emotion behind her music. With their financial situation in dire straits, the Lamberts decided to pack up and start fresh in Lindale, a tiny town chosen by Bev for its good school system. It wasn't just a change of address, it was a chance for the family to regroup and rebuild. However, their new life didn't come easy. They rented a modest farmhouse, and while Miranda and her siblings adjusted to their new environment, her father, Rick, struggled deeply. Plagued by depression, Rick's sense of purpose seemed to fade. His long trips to Dallas in search of work yielded no results, only compounding the family's sense of loss and uncertainty. Despite these hardships, Bev remained a pillar of strength, praying every day for a glimmer of hope. Miraculously, it came in the form of an offer from a local preacher who provided the Lamberts with a better home at a fraction of the cost, provided they helped with repairs. This unexpected stroke of luck gave the family a renewed sense of stability, proving that even in the darkest times, there can be a light at the end of the tunnel. However, the financial struggles were far from over. While the Lamberts were adjusting to their new life, Rick and Bev's work as private investigators introduced them to a world few could imagine. They were hired by lawyers working for Paula Jones to investigate President Bill Clinton, a task that would take them on a wild journey. Over the course of 2.5 years, they dug up crucial information, which ultimately led to the subpoena of Clinton. The payout from this high-profile case gave the family much-needed financial relief, but it also marked a period of personal upheaval. At this time, Miranda's childhood was anything but ordinary. Their home became a refuge for those in need, often housing victims of domestic violence. Miranda grew up surrounded by people in crisis, offering them a safe haven in her family's farmhouse. This unique upbringing would later influence the themes of strength, survival, and resilience found in her music. Miranda would later reflect on how her home was always packed with people who were in desperate situations, and how despite not having the luxuries of her city friends, like swimming pools and fancy cars, her house became the place everyone wanted to be. The warmth and support of the Lambert family made their home feel like a sanctuary, a place of comfort and security in an otherwise chaotic world. While Miranda's family worked hard to keep things together, her childhood was also filled with challenges of her own. In school, she wasn't a top student, but she was always deeply passionate about the things she loved, particularly music. From an early age, she found herself drawn to the guitar, though it wasn't until she was older that she began to seriously pursue her musical ambitions. But even as she struggled with self-esteem and fitting in, Miranda always had the support of her family, especially her parents, who encouraged her to follow her heart. The struggles the Lambert family faced during these early years would not only shape Miranda's future, but also become the foundation of the powerful, emotional songs she would later write. From the highs of success to the lows of personal hardship, Miranda's journey has always been about overcoming adversity and staying true to herself, no matter what. Her ability to turn pain into powerful music is a testament to the strength and resilience she learned from these formative years in Lindale, Texas. Miranda Lambert's connection to music started at a young age, but it wasn't until a pivotal moment at age 10 that her path was set. Her dad, Rick, took her to see Garth Brooks perform, and the experience was nothing short of life-changing. The energy of the crowd, the power of the music, and the electric atmosphere lit a fire in her that would never go out. From that moment, she knew music was her calling. Miranda didn't just admire the stars from a distance. She was determined to join them on stage. Her father, seeing her passion, got her a guitar, and though she was young, the spark of her musical journey was lit. However, teenage years weren't easy for Miranda. Like many young people, she struggled with fitting in. She wasn't the typical beauty queen. She didn't care much for makeup or the latest fashion trends, instead rocking oversized t-shirts and baggy pants. Miranda often felt like an outsider, not quite measuring up to the other kids at school. She later admitted to feeling awkward, even calling herself hideous during that time. But no matter how she saw herself, one thing was always clear. Music was her escape, her safe space, and her passion. Despite being distracted by the typical teenage life, like cheerleading and dancing, her love for music kept calling her back. As Miranda navigated the challenges of adolescence, she took her first real step into the world of country music. At 16, she entered the True Value Country Showdown, a major competition for aspiring artists. It was her first big chance to showcase her talent. She sang with everything she had, but didn't win. However, instead of letting this setback defeat her, she took the experience to heart. Miranda saw this loss not as failure, but as an opportunity for growth. She listened to the feedback, learned from it, and used it to fuel her determination to improve. Losing at the True Value Showdown didn't deter her. It lit a fire within her to keep going and get better. Her journey didn't stop there. Miranda's early attempts at music were more than just competitions. They were the foundation for the artist she would become. She had already set her sights on a larger goal. It was no longer enough to simply perform for her family or friends. She was determined to take her music to a bigger stage, to the point where she could truly make an impact. She didn't just want to be a part of the industry. She wanted to be a force within it. The road was not easy, and her first attempts at pursuing a music career in Nashville were full of challenges. But with each step, she grew stronger, more determined, and even more driven to carve her own path. This stage of Miranda's life was crucial in shaping her musical identity. It wasn't just about winning or losing. It was about learning and evolving. Her early experiences with competition, both the highs and the lows, would later become the foundation of her songwriting. As she looked back, Miranda could see how every loss and every piece of advice helped her become the artist she would later become. Her raw, emotional connection to music began to shine through, and it was clear to anyone who saw her perform that she was in this for the long haul. At this point, Miranda wasn't just some teen with a dream. She was a young woman who had learned the importance of perseverance and hard work. She was laying the groundwork for a career that would be defined by her authenticity and ability to stay true to herself, no matter what the industry or critics might say. This early chapter in Miranda's life set the stage for the country music star we know today, one who would go on to redefine what it means to be a female artist in a genre often dominated by men. With each step, Miranda was one step closer to becoming the powerhouse she is today. Miranda Lambert's big dreams took her all the way to Nashville, the heart of country music, where she hoped to make a name for herself. But her journey wasn't as glamorous as she had imagined. When she arrived in Nashville, she quickly found out that the music industry wasn't as welcoming as she had hoped. After recording a demo, the label executives didn't hear the country sound she was passionate about. Instead, they wanted her to conform to a pop-driven style, something that felt completely foreign to her. Miranda hated the idea. The songs were cookie-cutter, and the industry pressure to sound like everyone else made her feel like she was losing herself. This was the first harsh reality check for Miranda. In a vulnerable moment, she found herself crying in the studio. It was here, in the middle of that emotional breakdown, that she learned a crucial lesson. To succeed in this industry, she couldn't follow someone else's vision. She had to follow her own path. This was the moment when Miranda realized that to stay true to herself, she would have to carve out her own space in country music, no matter how tough it got. That early experience in Nashville could have shattered her spirit, but instead, it fueled her fire. Miranda left the studio that day with a new determination. No one was going to tell her who she had to be as an artist. She wasn't going to chase trends or conform to industry expectations. She was going to make the music she loved and believed in, regardless of what others thought. The road wasn't easy, and Nashville didn't exactly roll out the red carpet for her, but Miranda's unwavering belief in her own voice was about to define her. Through it all, Miranda never had to face the struggle alone. Her family, especially her parents Rick and Bev, were there every step of the way. While Miranda was pursuing her dreams, her family was fully committed to supporting her, both emotionally and financially. Rick, determined to see his daughter succeed, spent $6,000 to record her demos, even though that money wasn't easy to come by. In fact, the Lamberts were far from wealthy at the time, and spending that kind of money was a huge sacrifice. But Rick and Bev knew this was Miranda's chance. They believed in her talent and her potential, even when it wasn't clear to anyone else. They were her biggest cheerleaders, her rock, and the driving force behind her determination to make it in Nashville. The Lamberts' commitment to Miranda's success didn't stop at financial support. They were her constant source of encouragement, reminding her to stay true to herself, no matter how much pressure she faced. Rick and Bev didn't just offer words of wisdom, they showed up. They helped manage her schedule, drove her to radio stations, and took her to gigs. The Lamberts turned their entire lives upside down to give Miranda every chance to succeed. And it wasn't just about music, it was about family. The Lamberts were all in, fully invested in Miranda's future. Miranda's family's dedication wasn't just about helping her make music, it was about building the foundation for her career. They made sure that Miranda had the resources and emotional support she needed to succeed, even when it seemed impossible. Every demo, every gig, every late-night drive to a show, her parents were right there alongside her. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real, and it was the support that Miranda needed to keep pushing forward. Her parents believed in her even when the music industry didn't, and that belief became the fuel that powered Miranda's ambition. While the music industry may have tried to mold her into something she wasn't, Miranda Lambert's journey in Nashville was a testament to the power of family, resilience, and staying true to oneself. It wasn't easy, but with her family's unwavering support and her own determination, Miranda was about to make her mark on country music in a way no one could have predicted. Miranda Lambert's rise to stardom was anything but conventional. From the very beginning, she knew that to make it in country music, she couldn't just be another face in the crowd. She had a unique voice, a distinct sound, and a style that was all her own. As she made her way into the music industry, Miranda was determined to remain true to herself and maintain full creative control over her work. She wasn't interested in becoming another pop country product molded by industry standards. She wanted to make music that was raw, authentic, and true to her Texas roots. Her debut album, Kerosene, was a bold declaration of her authenticity. From the very first track, it was clear that Miranda wasn't going to compromise her sound. She wrote or co-wrote 11 out of the 12 songs on the album, refusing to let anyone else dictate her sound. Kerosene wasn't just another country album, it was a reflection of Miranda's gritty, unapologetic persona. The album was a raw, emotional journey that spoke to her personal experiences and struggles. The boldness of Kerosene resonated with fans, and despite facing industry pressure to conform, Miranda's authenticity made her stand out. The album was a critical and commercial success, debuting at #1 on the Billboard country charts, and it launched Miranda into the spotlight as one of the genre's most promising stars. But the journey wasn't without its challenges. As Miranda's career began to take off, she found herself at a crossroads with the record label. The executives at Sony saw her potential, but they wanted to take her in a direction that didn't align with her vision. In one of the most pivotal moments of her career, Miranda stood her ground during a meeting with Sony executives. She made it clear that she wasn't willing to compromise her authenticity for the sake of commercial success. "This is who I am," she told them. "I write my own music. I have something to say, and I'm not going to change who I am for anyone." She wasn't afraid to tell them that if they wanted her to be a part of their label, they needed to accept her as she was, raw, real, and unapologetically herself. The meeting could have easily gone in a different direction, but surprisingly, the label executives respected her bold stance. They didn't try to change her. They gave her the freedom to create the music she wanted to make. This moment marked a turning point in Miranda's career. It wasn't just about her music. It was about asserting her independence and taking control of her narrative. For many artists, signing with a major label often means losing creative freedom. But for Miranda, it was an opportunity to show the world that she would never conform to the industry's expectations. Her music was always going to be her own, and she was willing to fight for that freedom. Kerosene proved that staying true to herself was the right choice. The album's success, both commercially and critically, was a testament to Miranda's ability to break through the norms of the country music industry. Instead of playing by the rules, she rewrote them. Her authenticity struck a chord with fans who were tired of the polished, formulaic sounds dominating country radio. Miranda was real, raw, and unafraid to speak her truth. And that's what made her stand out in an industry that often values conformity over originality. Miranda's boldness paid off, and with Kerosene under her belt, she was ready to take on the world. The success of her debut album wasn't just about numbers, it was about carving out a space for herself in a genre that hadn't seen a female artist like her in years. She was defying the norms, pushing boundaries, and proving that authenticity was the key to lasting success. As Miranda continued to rise in the country music world, it became clear that she wasn't just a flash in the pan. She was a force to be reckoned with, an artist who was shaping the future of country music by staying true to herself and defying industry expectations. Kerosene was just the beginning, and Miranda's journey was far from over. After the success of Kerosene, Miranda Lambert's career only continued to soar. The release of her follow-up album, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, marked a major turning point in her rise to stardom. The album showcased her growth as an artist, further establishing her signature blend of gritty country and raw, emotional songwriting. Tracks like White Liar and Dead Flowers became instant fan favorites and helped solidify her place as one of the most exciting and dynamic voices in country music. White Liar was a particular standout, with its catchy hook and sassy attitude, and it quickly climbed the charts, eventually becoming one of Miranda's first major hits on the Hot Country Songs chart. Dead Flowers also made waves, earning praise from critics and fans alike for its depth and emotional weight. Both songs marked a pivotal moment in Miranda's career, showing that she wasn't just a one-hit wonder. She was an artist who could create music that resonated with listeners on a deeper level. As she continued to evolve musically, Miranda's authenticity and fearlessness made her one of the genre's most beloved and respected artists. But the success didn't stop there. With the release of Revolution, Miranda's momentum grew even stronger. The album received widespread acclaim, with songs like The House That Built Me capturing the hearts of country music fans and critics alike. The House That Built Me became a defining song in Miranda's career, hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart and staying there for 4 consecutive weeks. The song's heartfelt lyrics about returning home and reconnecting with one's roots resonated deeply with fans, and its success marked a major milestone in Miranda's career. Revolution solidified her as a country music powerhouse and earned her multiple award nominations and wins. Recognition from the industry followed, with Miranda receiving accolades at the Academy of Country Music Awards, Country Music Association Awards, and Grammy Awards. Her hard work and dedication were finally being recognized, and she was being celebrated as one of country music's brightest stars. At the ACMs, Miranda won several awards, including Female Vocalist of the Year, while at the CMAs, she was honored with multiple nominations and wins. Her Grammy nominations further solidified her place in the upper echelons of country music, and she became a household name not just in the country music world, but in mainstream music culture as well. These achievements were a testament to Miranda's immense talent, her ability to connect with fans, and her unwavering dedication to staying true to her roots. However, despite her rising success, Miranda faced challenges in a crucial area: radio play. Despite her undeniable talent and growing fan base, country radio was slow to embrace her music, particularly in the early stages of her career. Miranda's songs were often overlooked by radio programmers who were hesitant to play a female artist who didn't fit the mold of what they expected from mainstream country music. It was frustrating for Miranda, who knew her music was just as worthy of attention as that of her male counterparts. But she wasn't willing to compromise her sound to fit the radio's expectations. Miranda's persistence paid off, though. Slowly but surely, her music began to gain traction. And as her chart success continued, radio stations could no longer ignore her. Songs like White Liar and The House That Built Me finally got the airplay they deserved, helping Miranda break through the barriers that had initially held her back. The struggle was real, but Miranda's resilience proved that staying true to herself was the key to her eventual success. By the time Revolution hit, Miranda had become a staple in country music, known for her fierce determination, powerful voice, and ability to create music that resonated with fans on a personal level. Her rise to fame wasn't just about commercial success. It was about breaking down barriers, defying expectations, and creating a space for women in a genre that had long been dominated by men. Miranda's journey was a testament to the power of perseverance, authenticity, and staying true to your artistic vision. In the years that followed, Miranda continued to build on the success of Revolution, releasing more chart-topping albums and becoming one of country music's biggest stars. But it was during this breakthrough period that she proved to the world that she was here to stay. She had the talent, the drive, and the courage to carve out her own path in the country music world, and she wasn't going to let anything or anyone stop her. Miranda Lambert's career took another exciting turn when she formed the girl group Pistol Annies with fellow country artists Ashley Monroe and Angelina Presley. The trio quickly became known for their fierce, unapologetic sound that was both fresh and empowering. The Pistol Annies didn't just fit into the traditional country mold, they were determined to bring something new to the genre. Their debut single, Hell on Heels, became an instant hit, showcasing their raw talent and chemistry. The song resonated with listeners who were craving a more rebellious, bold approach to country music, and it quickly found its way up the charts. Hell on Heels wasn't just a song, it was an anthem for strong, independent women, and it helped to define the unique identity of the Pistol Annies. Their success was a testament to Miranda's ability to constantly evolve and collaborate with other artists while staying true to her roots. The formation of the Pistol Annies marked a new chapter in Miranda's career, one where she could explore new musical territory and experiment with different sounds. It also allowed her to step outside of her solo career and try something fresh with like-minded artists. The collaboration was not only musically successful, but also gave Miranda a chance to expand her horizons and connect with a different audience. The Pistol Annies' music had a blend of classic country, rock, and a bit of sass, all wrapped up in a powerful, feminine package. This was a chapter where Miranda could tap into her creative side in new ways and push her boundaries while still remaining deeply connected to her country roots. Beyond music, Miranda's venture into acting was another exciting development in her career. In 2012, Miranda surprised fans by making a guest appearance on Law & Order, SVU. While she had always been focused on her music career, her appearance on the iconic TV show allowed her to dip her toes into the world of acting. It was a major move that caught fans off guard. Miranda had long been a fan of Law & Order, SVU, and she had always wanted to be on the show. But rather than transitioning into acting full-time, Miranda was clear about her intentions. She wasn't looking to leave music behind. Her role on SVU was just a fun, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and she jumped at the chance to be part of a show she loved. She later admitted that she never had aspirations to become an actress. It was just a dream to be on the set of a show she had admired for years. Her role on SVU was brief, but it opened up the possibility of future acting ventures, and it showed that Miranda's talents extended far beyond country music. Even though acting wasn't her primary focus, her appearance on the show added an interesting layer to her public persona, revealing her versatility as an artist. Fans were thrilled to see her take on this new challenge, and it gave them a chance to see a different side of Miranda, one that wasn't just about performing on stage or recording music. Despite her brief venture into acting, Miranda's heart remained firmly in music. The Pistol Annies and her acting cameo on SVU only added more dimensions to her already complex career. By expanding her horizons in these different ways, Miranda continued to surprise fans, proving that she was always ready to try new things while staying true to her roots. The success of the Pistol Annies, paired with her willingness to branch out and experiment, kept Miranda's career dynamic, fresh, and exciting. It was clear that she wasn't just a country music star, she was a multifaceted artist who could take on whatever challenge came her way. Miranda Lambert's personal life became a public spectacle when she began a whirlwind romance with fellow country superstar Blake Shelton. The two had undeniable chemistry, and their relationship quickly captivated the public's attention. Their love story seemed straight out of a country song, and in 2010, Blake proposed to Miranda, leading to a highly anticipated wedding the following year. The couple's nuptials were nothing short of fairy tale-like, and they quickly became one of country music's most beloved power couples. However, as often happens with relationships in the spotlight, their seemingly perfect love story took a sudden and unexpected turn. After 4 years of marriage, Blake and Miranda shocked the world when they announced their divorce in 2015. The split was deeply emotional for Miranda, and she faced the heartbreak head-on. It wasn't just the end of a marriage, it was the end of a chapter in her life that she had shared so publicly with Blake. For Miranda, moving on wasn't easy. She had to come to terms with the end of a dream she had worked so hard to build. But as painful as the divorce was, it was also the start of a new phase in her life. Miranda, known for her strength and resilience, wasn't one to let heartbreak define her. Instead, she used it as fuel to continue growing and evolving, both personally and professionally. Her journey through heartbreak was not without its lessons, and Miranda took time to heal and reflect on what truly mattered in her life. She focused on her music, her family, and her friends, rediscovering the joy that came from the things that truly brought her peace. It wasn't long before she found love again, this time with Brendan McLaughlin, a former NYPD officer. Their romance was a surprise to many, but Miranda embraced it fully. In 2019, she revealed to the world that not only was she in a new relationship, but she had also married Brendan in a private ceremony. This news came as a pleasant surprise to her fans, who were excited to see her moving forward and finding happiness again after such a public heartbreak. Miranda's marriage to Brendan marked a fresh start, not just in her love life, but in her role as a stepmom. Brendan came into the relationship with a child from a previous relationship, and Miranda embraced her new role with open arms. She found herself adjusting to the challenges and joys of being a stepmother, and she spoke openly about how rewarding and fulfilling this new chapter was for her. Miranda's bond with her new family added a sense of balance and joy to her life, and fans watched as she flourished in her new role. It was a stark contrast to the heartbreak of her divorce, and it showcased her ability to embrace change and start anew, no matter how difficult the past had been. In these moments of personal struggle and triumph, Miranda proved that she was more than just a country music star. She was a woman who could overcome adversity, grow, and embrace new beginnings. Her marriage to Brendan was a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even after facing one of the most difficult chapters of her life, she was capable of finding love and joy again. It wasn't just about moving on. It was about embracing the lessons learned from the past and looking forward to the future with an open heart. Miranda's journey through love, heartbreak, and new beginnings showed that she wasn't just a survivor, she was a thriver. She had the strength to move forward, to rebuild, and to find happiness in ways she never expected. Through it all, Miranda remained true to herself, proving that no matter what life threw her way, she would always come out stronger on the other side. As Miranda Lambert's career continued to evolve, 2024 marked a significant turning point. After 19 years with Sony Music Nashville, the label that helped shape her into the superstar she is today, Miranda made the bold decision to move on and sign with Republic Records and Big Loud. This shift represented more than just a change of labels. It was the beginning of an exciting new chapter in her career, one where she would continue to push boundaries and explore new creative opportunities. The signing with Republic Records and Big Loud was a fresh start, allowing Miranda the freedom to release music that was uniquely hers while continuing to redefine her legacy in country music. But Miranda's evolution wasn't confined to just music. In 2023, she took on a new venture, branching out beyond her musical roots by releasing a cookbook titled Y'all Eat Yet. The cookbook, which combines her love for food with her Southern upbringing, allowed fans to connect with a different side of Miranda. The release of Y'all Eat Yet was a way for her to share a piece of herself with her fans, her personal recipes, stories, and a glimpse into the home life that she cherished. Miranda's cookbook wasn't just about cooking. It was about embracing her roots, her love for family, and the joy she found in sharing meals with loved ones. It was a true reflection of her journey, one where she continued to evolve both as an artist and as a person. With the release of new music on the horizon, Miranda is ready to keep breaking new ground. Her first single under the new label, Wranglers, was released in 2024, followed closely by Damn It Randy, a track co-written with her husband Brendan McLaughlin. These new singles represent the bold, unfiltered Miranda that fans have come to know and love, while also showcasing her growth as an artist. As Miranda continues to release new material, it's clear that she's not slowing down. She's just getting started. The future looks brighter than ever for Miranda, and fans can expect even more evolution in her music and artistry. Her career has been defined by her ability to stay true to herself, while constantly pushing her creative boundaries. As she steps into this new chapter, Miranda remains a powerhouse in the country music world, and her fans can't wait to see what she'll do next. From new music to new projects, the possibilities are endless, and Miranda's journey is far from over. This new era of Miranda Lambert promises to be one of continued growth, reinvention, and continued success. Whether she's releasing her next album, performing on stage, or exploring new ventures outside of music, Miranda will continue to evolve as one of country music's most beloved and influential stars. Fans can expect new content, fresh sounds, and even more of the real, authentic Miranda that has captured hearts across the globe. As she continues to redefine what it means to be a country music legend, one thing is certain: Miranda Lambert's story is far from finished. Her next chapter is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Miranda Lambert's journey from a small-town girl in Lindale, Texas, to one of country music's brightest stars is nothing short of inspiring. Through every challenge, from personal struggles to industry obstacles, Miranda has shown incredible resilience. Her unwavering authenticity and determination to stay true to herself have been the cornerstones of her success in an often unforgiving industry. She didn't just follow the rules, she wrote her own. Miranda has proven time and time again that staying real is the key to lasting success. As we reflect on her remarkable journey, we're left wondering, what's next for Miranda Lambert? We'd love to hear your thoughts on her incredible story and what you think is in store for her future. Leave your comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Miranda's life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. There's so much more to come, and we can't wait to share it with you.